Welcome back to Living in the Word. Today we are looking at the Son of Promise. Let's begin. Genesis 18 verses 1 to 8. And Yahweh appeared to him by the oaks of Mamre, and he was sitting in the doorway of the tent at the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, 3 men were standing near him. And he saw them and ran from the doorway of the tent to meet them. And he bowed down to the ground, and he said, My Lord, if I have found favor in your eyes, do not pass by your servant. Let a little water be brought and wash your feet, and rest under the tree. And let me bring a piece of bread, then refresh yourselves. Afterward you can pass on, once you have passed by with your servant. Then they said, Do as you have said. Then Abraham hastened into the tent to Sarah, and he said, Quickly, make 3 seahs of fine flour for kneading, and make bread cakes. And Abraham ran to the cattle and took a calf, tender and good, and gave it to the servant, and he made haste to prepare it. Then he took curds and milk and the calf which he prepared and set it before them, and he was standing by them under the tree while they ate. Here Abraham recognized one of the men as God. Remember that God had visibly appeared to Abraham before in Genesis 12 verses 7, 15 verses 1 and 17 verses 22. So he was well aware of God's appearance as a man. And that, to me, that is just an amazing relationship that they had. Abraham then demonstrates great hospitality by offering water, food, and the washing of their feet. Now, the washing of their feet, back in those days, they wore sandals. So when people traveled, their feet were really grotty. But this wasn't just done to clean their feet. It was done to cool the entire body as well. So that's why they'd done that. Genesis 18 verses 9 to 15. And they said to him, Where is Sarah your wife? And he said, Here in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return to you in the spring, and look, Sarah your wife will have a son. Now Sarah was listening at the doorway of the tent, and which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in age. The way of women had ceased to be for Sarah. So Sarah laughed to herself, saying, After I am worn out and my husband is old, shall this pleasure be to me? Then Yahweh said to Abraham, What is this that Sarah laughed, saying, Is it indeed true that I will bear a child now that I have grown old? Is anything too difficult for Yahweh? At the appointed time I will return to you in the spring, and Sarah shall have a son. But Sarah denied it, saying, I did not laugh, because she was afraid. He said, No, but you did laugh. Here Sarah laughs to herself when God tells Abraham of the son that Sarah will have in her old age. Now, apart from the obvious that Sarah thought that this was funny, it indicates that Abraham did not tell her of the last visitation from God in Genesis 17 verse 19, where he said that Sarah will have a child. So there had obviously been a lack of communication between Abraham and Sarah at that time. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. God bless.